Did you know Mercedes-Benz, one of the world's most luxurious car brands, was born from poverty and failure? Today, it's an $80 billion giant, but it all started with a poor engineer, Karl Benz, who dreamed of a horseless carriage. Born in 1844, Karl's father, a locomotive driver, died when he was just 2, plunging his family into poverty. But his mother sacrificed everything for his education. Young Karl was a genius in mechanics, and inspired by his professor, he became obsessed with creating a motorized vehicle. After graduating, he started a workshop with a partner, but things went south fast. Their tools were seized, and the business almost collapsed. Luckily, his fiancée, Bertha Ringer, used her dowry to buy out the unreliable partner, saving the venture and becoming Karl's greatest ally. This was just the beginning of their incredible journey. Stick around to see how they changed the world. Picture this: Mercedes-Benz, a name that screams luxury, with a value of around $80 billion. It's one of the oldest and most prestigious car companies on the planet. But behind today's sleek, expensive machines lies a story of struggle, failure, and a poor engineer who dared to dream of a horseless carriage. It all began with Karl Benz, a man who faced endless doubts and setbacks. Yet, he defied everyone and transformed his small workshop into the world's very first major car company in the late 19th century. But this inspiring tale has a darker chapter, a time when the company profited from war, working with the Nazis and using forced labor. So, get comfortable, because we're about to dive into the incredible, and sometimes controversial, story of Mercedes-Benz and the man who brought the automobile to life. Karl Benz was born in November 1844 in Germany, into a family with very little. His father, a locomotive driver, barely earned enough to keep them afloat. Tragically, when Karl was just 2, his father passed away, plunging him and his mother into severe poverty. Life was tough, and many nights they went to bed hungry. But Karl's mother was determined to give her son a future. She sacrificed everything to ensure he got a good education. Her efforts paid off. Karl was a brilliant student, especially in chemistry and mechanics. At 15, following in his father's footsteps, he enrolled in mechanical engineering at the University of Karlsruhe. There, he met a professor who would change his life, Ferdinand Rettenbacher. Rettenbacher was a visionary who believed steam engines were becoming obsolete. He ignited Karl's fascination with a horseless carriage. As an avid cyclist, Karl started tinkering with his bike, dreaming of ways to motorize it. At the time, others had tried to build self-propelled vehicles, but none were truly practical. Most were clunky steam-powered contraptions. Guided by his professor, Karl knew he needed a completely new approach. Many people scoffed at his vision, but he was convinced it was possible. He just needed to prove it. After graduating at 19, Ben spent 7 years working various engineering jobs. He never quite fit in anywhere, but he absorbed every bit of knowledge. In 1871, at age 27, he finally started his own venture, partnering with a mechanic named August Ritter to open an iron foundry in Mannheim. While running the business, Karl secretly continued working on his motorized carriage. A partner seemed like a good idea, right? Wrong. Ritter proved to be completely unreliable. Soon, their tools were seized, and the company was on the brink of collapse within its first year. But just when things looked bleak, Karl met Bertha Ringer, the woman who would become his wife and his greatest champion. Bertha came from a wealthy family, and she couldn't stand seeing Karl's dream crushed by his flaky partner. So, she did something remarkable. She used her own dowry to buy out Ritter's share, putting her and Karl in complete control. For the next decade, they fought to keep the business alive. Amidst all the struggle, Karl's genius flourished. In 1879, he had a major breakthrough, developing a gasoline-powered 2-stroke engine. He began patenting his inventions: a speed regulation system, battery-powered ignition, spark plugs, the carburetor, clutch, gearshift, and even a water radiator. Each patent brought him one step closer to his dream of a horseless carriage and provided new products to sell. But the business was still struggling. Production costs skyrocketed, and the banks demanded that the company incorporate. This forced Karl to bring in new investors. Overnight, his business became a joint stock company, and Karl was left with a measly 5% of the shares. He was demoted, and worse, his ideas were completely ignored. He had no say in the company he had built from scratch. Frustrated and heartbroken, Karl walked away the very next year. Losing his company was a devastating blow, but it only fueled his determination. His passion for bicycles led him to Max Rose and Friedrich Wilhelm, who owned a bike repair shop. Together, they founded a new company, Benz and C. This time, they focused on manufacturing industrial machines and stationary gas engines. The business took off, quickly becoming profitable. With a steady income and a team of 25 employees, Karl could finally focus entirely on his lifelong dream. Instead of just slapping a motor onto a carriage, he designed a vehicle around the motor. Using bicycle technology, he created what is now considered the first true automobile in 1885, the Benz patent motorwagon. This three-wheeled, two-seater vehicle was powered by a single-cylinder, four-stroke engine that produced less than 1 horsepower and could reach about 7 miles per hour. This was revolutionary, and Benz knew it. In the summer of 1886, he drove his creation out in public for the first time. The reaction was mixed. Some were amazed, but most were skeptical. People were afraid the strange machine would explode and didn't want it on their streets. Some even whispered that Benz was the devil, driving a chariot from hell. Even his business partners were unimpressed. They complained that his obsession with the automobile was a distraction. Why would anyone buy it? It wasn't faster than a horse, it broke down, and it could run out of fuel. But Karl Benz was unwavering. He was the first person in the world to start manufacturing cars for sale, beginning in 1888. His wife, Bertha, was his biggest supporter, often spending late nights in the workshop with him, offering suggestions. But still, the public wasn't convinced. The few wealthy people who bought the cars could only travel short distances and needed a mechanic with them at all times. Plus, the cars were loud, messy, and expensive. It was clear Karl needed to do something drastic to show the world that the automobile was here to stay. And that's when his wife, Bertha, took matters into her own hands. One morning in the summer of 1888, while Karl was still asleep, she quietly took the car, brought her 2 sons, and embarked on one of the most important road trips in history. Her destination. Her mother's house in Pforzheim, 66 miles away. She didn't tell her husband or the authorities, knowing they would have forbidden it. No motorized vehicle had ever attempted such a long journey. The trip was anything but easy. The roads were just dusty tracks made for horses. She had to stop at a pharmacy to buy ligroin, a petroleum solvent, to use as fuel. She even had to perform her own mechanical repairs along the way, using a hat pin to clean a blocked fuel line and her garter to insulate a wire. After more than 12 grueling hours, Bertha and her sons finally arrived safely. More importantly, the journey was a massive success. It generated incredible publicity and proved that the automobile was a practical and reliable machine. The Benz patent motorwagon became the talk of the town. Suddenly, everyone saw the potential. Orders started flooding in. Benz and C expanded rapidly, becoming Germany's second largest engine manufacturer by 1890, though mostly from selling their stationary engines. But with 2 new business partners, Friedrich von Fischer and Julius Ganz, managing the commercial side, Karl was free to innovate. He patented new designs like the double-pivot steering system and the first flat engine. In 1893, he launched a new, more luxurious car, the Benz Victoria. It had a 3-horsepower engine and could reach 11 miles per hour. It sold well, but its successor, the cheaper Benz Velo, became a massive hit. With around 1,200 units produced, the Velo became the world's first large-scale production car, cementing Karl Benz's legacy as the father of the automobile. From a poor boy with a crazy dream to the creator of a global empire, Karl Benz's story is a powerful reminder that with enough passion and perseverance, you can change the world. What an incredible journey, right? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing histories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.